So it's not about being perfect or having access to the best facilities when you travel or needing to do an hour session in the gym. It's just about doing something, no matter where you are. Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of Pretty Simple. I am in Malaysia right now, so if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been on the road for quite a few months now. While it's been an incredible journey and experience, especially this year, it's been a lot and it's been a lot of fun. I wanted to talk about something that people have been asking me a lot about. How do I keep up with my fitness and my health and my nutrition while I'm traveling and have this kind of lifestyle? And how do I still maintain my body goals? So today I'll share exactly how I manage my training, nutrition, and my work routines while I am traveling. I'm also going to give you some examples of things that you can do to be able to train when you travel and also keep everything balanced while still enjoying the place. So the first thing is mindset. So for me, the way that I approach travel is not really a break from life, right? It is life, which means I don't view travel as an excuse for me to let go of the habits that make me feel good and habits have taken years to build. So it doesn't really mean that I'm strict or super rigid, but I enjoy food, I try new things, and I relax when I want to, obviously. But I also have to make mindful choices because I know how much better I'm going to feel when I keep some consistency. And it's not about being perfect, it's about having balance. So it's really all about intention and balance when it comes to the mindset and just knowing what your goals are and how much work you've already put in, that there's no need to pause it, right? So let's talk about training. When I'm home and back in Spain in Valencia, my schedule is very straightforward. It's exactly the same every single week. I train 6 days a week in the gym. I do my runs, I'm cooking my own food and everything. So when I'm on the road, I just adjust to whatever's available. I try to aim for at least a minimum of 3 sessions a week if I am traveling. If I have access to the gym, obviously there's solid good sessions. And of course, with the equipment and everything, things can always be adapted. And that's usually what I do. So sometimes, obviously, there's no gym. And that's when you have to get a little bit creative. Or maybe there is a gym with less equipment. So you got to adapt. Recently, I traveled to Saudi Arabia and the place was so beautiful. It was desert and it looked like the sunrise would be epic. So, we decided let's wake up for sunrise and go for a run and just see the beauty of this place with a different perspective. And I think doing things like that gives you a really different way of experiencing places. Also running in cities. I've done that before in Milan, although that was a horrible run because it's just too many people. But it was nice. It was something different. Other times when I don't have access to the gym, I do body weight workouts. Quick ones, super quick, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes maximum in the hotel room. Sometimes I do end up taking bands with me and I stick to the basics: squats, push-ups, lunges, planks, like getting those things done. It's just nice energy boost to start the rest of the day. The key is to keep the habit alive, no matter what resources are available. So adapt, adapt, adapt. Because honestly, it's really a shame if you've been doing really well with your progress at the gym and then you just completely stop everything because you're traveling because you think steps are enough. Now, other than also just getting a quick session in, you could also stay active by doing active activities while you're on vacation. I think that's a lot of fun. So just recently, actually, a couple of days ago, we went on this island and we found an activity which was cycling in the water. It's like these catamarans. Signed up for it, something new. It was tough. It was resistance training on the legs for sure. Another time I went to Portugal and I signed up for surfing lessons. So just doing different activities can really benefit you when you're traveling. Again, it's adventurous, it's fun. You get to see different parts other than just walking and shopping and eating. There's a lot you can do and experience that maybe you don't get to experience back home because you have work, you don't have the time to. So try to incorporate activity with your travel. It's so much fun. The point is that movement doesn't always have to come from a gym or a traditional routine, but movement is important. There's so many ways that you can feel active. I mean, if you follow me, you also know that I like to plan trips solely around activity as well. And that's super, super fun. Like recently I did the cycling trip. I got to see all these beautiful places while cycling. Earlier this summer, I wanted to go to Croatia and it was a dream to go and live on a boat for a week and explore the islands and swim in the beautiful, clear Mediterranean. And I did that by coupling it up with a climbing trip. So I got to stay super active while exploring the islands and doing a sport that I enjoy doing in new, beautiful place. And I mean, it's pretty cool. It's like, you say, oh yeah, I went climbing in Croatia. I went climbing in Oman. Like you visit countries and make it active. Obviously, it depends on the kind of trip you're doing, but if it's an option, always go for that. It's a lot of fun. But if it's like a family trip or something, it's different. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I went to Delhi for my grandfather's birthday, and we barely left the apartment. Like it was just family stuff, family stuff, family stuff, and there was no gyms close by. So I made do with what I had. We had a staircase. I used to use that as a stairmaster, and then I would do the quick 20-minute sessions in the room, in the morning before starting the day, chilling with the family. So I was done, dusted, felt great, ready to go. This concept of I need to do 1 full hour at the gym, and when I'm traveling, I don't have the time to, so I cannot, needs to go because again, I just feel like you're putting a barrier on yourself because if you can still move your body for 20 to 30 minutes, why does it have to be an hour? The point is to get that movement in. And if you are traveling for a week, 2 weeks, some people even traveling for 3 weeks, completely stop, you are actually going to fall back with your progress a little bit. Whereas this way, if you dedicate 20 to 30 minutes, even 2 to 3 times a week, you're still maintaining something. So when it comes to food, also when I travel, I keep it super simple. Like one main thing is I always travel with my protein powder and my creatine. So I make my shakes no matter what. So this guarantees that I get, keep the protein coming in and get to maintain my muscle. If I don't have them, however, I make sure that my meals include good protein sources even when I go out to eat. Protein keeps you full and you get the energy that you need. Make sure I have vegetables. And one most important thing that I do when I travel is have a nice big breakfast. So normal breakfast like you would, the eggs, the greens, carbs, like a big breakfast. Because if you're going to be out the rest of the day exploring, then you want to make sure that you have enough fuel in you. So it's the same concept I use at home when it comes to breakfast when I travel. Um, and when you're staying in hotels, it's great because there's so many options there. You can really make sure to have a lot of protein. But another thing is I don't restrict myself when I'm traveling when it comes to food. So the other day we went to a street market and I wanted to try a lot of the local stuff. And I did, I don't feel guilty about it because I know I'm moving and I know that I'm focusing on high proteins the rest of my meals. That too, when I'm at a restaurant, again, you look at the menu and you make good choices, you still get to enjoy the flavors. It doesn't mean that if you're ordering something specific that has high protein, it's not going to be local flavors. So there's no restriction. It's about making good choices and making sure that it's balanced. So when you're traveling, you want to make sure that you don't gain that travel weight, right? You want to make sure that you're still maintaining. And following these steps with your nutrition when you travel is the best way to go. So choose dishes that have a lot of fiber, vegetables, choose dishes that have high protein. Now, if you're going to go and eat on the street and it might not have those things, that's fine. But then you make sure the rest of the meals that you're having are pretty high in protein. So we're still maintaining our muscle mass throughout. Even if you're not going into the gym and lifting, if you don't have access to weights, we're still maintaining muscle. I think for me, the only time I really struggled with the nutrition part was recently when I was in Italy because it's all pizza pasta. So it's hard to find meals high in protein. Their meals are very high in fat and high in carbs. But on the plus side, it was an active trip. I was cycling, so it didn't really make that big of a difference. And I was having my protein shakes every single day. Now, after that 1 month of cycling, I did not gain any weight. I did not lose any weight. And I was definitely eating over 2,300 calories a day. But because the movement was there, it was all maintenance. My point is there's still ways to be able to travel and maintain what you've done before the trip rather than losing it all and feel like you're sitting back and starting all over again. For me, it's not about having a perfect diet. It's just about making choices that help me enjoy the trip without feeling sluggish or unwell and, still kind of maintaining something. So another thing that people tend to do is when they go on vacation, they just walk and they think that that is enough. While walking is great, and yes, when you travel, you manage to get so many more steps than you normally would. It is not the only thing that you should be doing to maintain, because again, we want to maintain our muscle. This is the most important thing, especially if you're a woman over 30. It becomes so hard for us to build lean muscle. We really need to make sure that we are taking care of the muscle that we have. Because as you know, after 30, we start to lose muscle mass. And then also building it gets harder. And so you got to keep what you have and try to build more. But steps alone aren't enough to maintain your strength or keep progressing in your fitness. So that's why I always try to make it a point to do more. And you should too. I actually spoke to a client today. She's traveling for work and she travels pretty often, and she always takes her bands with her. and she just replicates the workout from dumbbells to banded. So she does them in the hotel room, or if she has access to the gym, she'll go and do it at the gym. It's about not making excuses for yourself, because if you want to do it, it is possible to do it. You don't need that much time, and you don't need that much equipment either. And like I said, if you're somebody who likes to go out and get active, do that. It's a lot of fun. Explore different ways that you enjoy, and also explore different ways to see the city. So with all of this, for me, it took a long time to actually get a routine going, because I was always looking at travel as a break. But now, because it's such a big part of my life, the mindset had to change, and consistency had to be there. And I had to learn to adapt, and I had to learn that, you know, at the end of the day, if I'm not going to do it, I'm going to see a setback with my energy and with my progress that I've spent so long trying to make. And if I want to continue this lifestyle, the good habits that I have in my daily routine back home need to come with me, not at 100%, but there has to be a base of it. So it's not about being perfect or having access to the best facilities when you travel or needing to do an hour session in the gym. It's just about doing something, no matter where you are. Like I said earlier, you need to adapt. You can make it work. Giving 20 minutes in the morning before you start your day is really not that hard. And even if it's just twice during the week that you're traveling, it will make a difference. These little things make a difference. There's always options if you really want to maintain the progress that you have made. And if you think that there isn't, I'm sorry, but I'll be straight up. You are just making excuses for yourself, because it's not fun when you travel for 3 weeks and you've not done anything at all, and then you come back and you go to the gym and you start lifting your weights and you feel like, okay, my heart rate's going up too fast. I'm not able to lift as much as I was before. Why lose the progress when you can maintain some of it? You don't want to have to start over again every single time you come home. The reality is that the habits that you keep on the road prove to yourself that you can stay consistent anywhere. And once you actually have that discipline and make that commitment, it becomes part of who you are. Not something you have to start over every single time you come home, right? So for me, it is just part of who I am, and it is an important part of my life, and I just don't like starting over. Anyway, guys, since I'm on the road right now, I thought that this would be a great episode to put out. And if you are going somewhere on winter break, take some of these things into consideration. Look at how far you've come, and don't fall back. Don't build bad habits on your vacation and then try to, restart everything when you come back home. Keep it going. Take care of the work that you've put in. And it's also fun, and it's going to give you energy for the rest of the trip. So I hope this gives you some sort of insight to how I approach fitness and health and my nutrition when I'm traveling. It's not complicated, but it really does take intention, and intention of wanting to keep all the hard work that you've put into your journey so far. So whether you're trying a new activity, learn to make mindful food choices, because small efforts are the ones that add up. So 2 is better than none. That's it for today's episode, guys. If you found this helpful or useful, please make sure to hit like. Feel free to comment below. Let me know what some of your favorite activities are that you do when you travel. And if you are somebody who does go to the hotel gym, if you're one of those people like me, make sure you let me know below as well. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you hit a subscribe or follow on whichever platform you are listening to. I've got another plane in the morning, so I'm going to sign out, and take care, guys. Remember, don't lose the progress that you've made over taking a break. It's not worth it. Learn to commit with intention and have the discipline to make sure that you keep growing in your journey.